Are we yet recording? Are we recording? Is this podcast live? I'll be talking about my story of interview. But no, not only. It's not only the story of the interview, but let's just wait a minute or two to see if anybody comes in, if I get any. Like to Google. Yeah, that's a question. Yes or no? Would you like to work for Google? It's not like I'm hiring people or anything. I don't care. I don't care. It's something I don't know. Let's just add Discord. So yeah, let's give a minute for people to gather a bit. If they're interested. If not, then whatever. I'll keep on working and I'll be talking for a couple of minutes. I might record that. I might make a video out of it. Who knows? Like a clip or something, or like a short, and then that's it. That's the story of Google. No, it's not yet done. Discord. In the meantime, I can play this guy's game. Yeah. Oh no more. He removed it. Oh shit. Browse games. I can play this game or Polytruck. Lonesome Town. Look at the cool game, yeah? Name your own price. No, that's a Windows game. I'm not gonna be playing game. Okay, let's not play games. Let's just see. I will just see my form, Google form, how it's doing. Let's see like the full responses without emails. So age 21-ish, or is it? 16, 19, 21, 22, 24. Okay. India. India slash. It's a different country, yeah. Just starting. Oh, there is a intermediate people and someone advanced. Okay. Oh, but it's still a 6 response. If you didn't fill it and if you want to work together, that's the best place to do. And how many people would you like to work? Although this is a question. 1 to 3 hours. I don't know if it's actually possible to build anything useful in 1 to 3 hours a week. I doubt that it's even this amount is enough. This is probably closer. What motivates you? Okay, so we'll talk about that later. I hope this group will still grow, so make sure you fill up the form on my Discord if you are in the Discord stuff. If you are not, then unfortunate, that's the best way of communicating. I mean, maybe not the best, but the best way of communicating is obviously personal, when you just speak to your friend who is next to you. Yeah, no one responded. Okay, so let's just start with my Google story. So yesterday I was in an interview in a Google office. So it's apparently this part is changing now, because they used to do like a remote all. So this was like a round 4 and 5 basically. So, or maybe 1, 3 and 4. I don't know how to count it, because first obviously it's a round that you have with like a HR person. So that's usually, how is your CV, like blah blah blah, are you looking, are you interested, that kind of stuff, just the normal stuff. So there's nothing really on the first round. It's nothing really groundbreaking. It's not like they're gonna filter you off on that. Then you have like, then at least with me, then I had 2 more rounds, and that was a while ago, you know. So all of that was just like 3 months ago or 4 months ago, or I don't know, like it's a longest time ago. Let's just throw this one on the chat. I check. Yeah. Yeah, let's just throw this one out. So the round 1 was a HR ages ago, like 3 months ago or something. Yeah, that's a long process, you know, with some of those FANG companies. FANG is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, and Netflix. Yeah, probably like, I don't know why there's just this many. I think there's something missing. Microsoft is missing. Yeah, I would say it's a big one. That should be fun. Yeah. So with those companies, it's they say that it's an infamous process where you just like get really hard questions and stuff. And to be honest, for me, I didn't find them that hard to be. So yeah, the first round HR. Then I've got this thing called googliness. This is how they call it. And this is basically if you are a nice person. I think that's what they would look for. You know, if you are one that is you know, your values are close to Google. So if you are that, then googliness will be okay for you. You know, you'll be okay. So if you respond to how are you doing, how are you doing, how much the project completed. Some projects are completed, some projects are still working. So there's multiple projects in my case. So but that's later. Okay, so I will Vana, if you don't mind, I will respond to that later. So let me just finish my Google story. So yeah, so the HR was a while ago. Then googliness is like, oh, how did you deal in a situation of stress? How did you deal with people being critical, blah blah blah, you know. So that was also a while ago. And then there was a first round of technical interviews. And in my first round of technical interviews, I had this question to go like, let's say we have a folder with files. Yeah, like this one. Maybe let's go down. So you have a folder like this one, and you have like a function that gives you names of the folders. And then this function also gives you, there's a function that gives you list of the items in this thing, yeah? And then you've got another function where you can check the size. So you go, you know, you loop through them, you run the so first one is a function that gives you files. So you get like an array of things, and then based in this array you run the other function that checks the size. So you check folder is -1, so basically it has no size. I mean, it has items inside, so then you know that this is a folder. But let's go first through the files. So this one is big. So then oh yeah, and then you had to select 10 biggest files in that bucket, let's call it. And that wasn't actually too hard for me, because I would just loop through all of it, and then I would just make a list, like already ordered list of things, of items, and from the highest to the lowest. And if it's smaller than the lowest, don't do anything. If it's bigger than the lowest, then find a place for it in the list. That one was my solution. And then then it would require recursion. Recursion is like when you have a function and you call that function like inside itself. So pretty much all of those Google tasks, they required recursion. So if you don't know recursion, you will never get Google job, yeah? Or you will struggle. You might actually get away without it. I don't know. I can't think of like a solution where recursion wouldn't be a solution. So that was and then you would make a list of. So basically, you had to make a list of all the files with the size, but then also make sure that you go into the subfolders and include that. So then when you go into subfolder, you get you do the same again. You have to loop through it, and then you go to this subfolder and loop through this. So that was round 2. Hi there. Nice to see you. And then like round 3 was yesterday, and round 4 was yesterday, yes? Or like round 5 and 4 and 5. I don't know if I count, if I still should count the HR. But let's say I do. So like round 3 and 4, sorry, round 4 and 5 was yesterday. And yesterday was 2 rounds of technical questions again. One was binary tree, and I didn't do anything with binary tree recently. Honestly, this is like one of the things I just find that is useless. So if you don't know what binary tree is, binary tree is something like that, and you have like always left and right. And basically the question was like, if you had a binary tree with ones and zeros, how do you find all the islands? So I would have to find a binary tree with ones and zeros. Ones and zeros. Ones and zeros. Yeah, let's see if... yeah, so this one. Yeah. So basically, you have to find how many islands of ones there are. So for example, if it's a 0 and there is a 1, 1, 1, 1, you know, this is an island. If it's just 1 here and zeros around, then this is an island. This is an island. So all the continuous ones basically in a cluster, you know, so you would have to, and then you count them. And it was my hardest part because I didn't do much with binary trees. I didn't really train on them recently. I think the last time I did something with those was maybe 3 years ago or something. And I don't really spend too much time on them. I just like, basically I don't find them that useful, so I don't really deal with them. I kind of solved the problem-ish. I think I would have to check. I think my method was very simple actually, it turned out. So it had like one loop inside or something, and then, was it loop? You know, I said that it's an object. Basically, my solution here wasn't very good, you know? I mean, that was probably my worst part of the interviews, of all the interviews, was this binary tree search, you know? So this one, I don't even know if it would work. Basically, like when you write Google interviews, you don't really run the code. You just like, it's like a pseudocode. I mean, I was writing normal JavaScript-ish, but in a pseudocode way. So I was trying to sort of, my code would be working if I fixed it probably. There would probably be a couple of like a syntax error somewhere on the way, because I would forget that, oh, this is how you do this method or something. So yeah, the interview number 4 was like the hardest. So the part that was the hardest. I think like my approach was I would be just talking about what I'm thinking, what I have to do, what's my logic. So I would be talking loud about that and maybe ask questions and suggest some things. But like at one point my brain just stopped working, you know, like I just like, I don't know if it's gonna be good. And my brain started saying, okay, give up. But I kept on going, and I sort of got to some conclusion. The guy helped me a lot. I think that was, yeah, I didn't do very well on that part. So like, if I fail, it's probably this part, you know. If I fail the Google stuff, it's probably this part, you know. And then the next one, this one was easy for me, easy. Maybe not the easiest, you know. I like none of them was easy, to be honest. All of those were actually sort of hard, but this was string work. So you have a string like that, you know, you've got A, B, C, D, let's say, and then in those brackets you got 4, for example, and E. And out of that, and this should produce like, okay, let's instead of 4 here, let's have 2, yeah? So it should produce A, B, C, D, B, C, D, E, yeah? So wherever is actually here in these brackets and in that brackets, those are actually important parts, you know? So this is a part, and this is how many times you should repeat that part, and then you produce the text. So my function here was like, it's kind of like, in a way, like one part I did really silly, but that's something I would improve if I had a bit more time. But yeah, my function it wasn't actually a good function. It was like quadratic. Like it was like a loop within a loop. Probably not the best solution. I couldn't think of better one, to be honest, during the interview. But I think I solved that problem with my code, you know. So like my function was like 30 line, like this long, you know. So it would have like lots of like loop within a loop, and then it would have like a if else in a couple of situations. I think it would work, you know. I think I kind of solved that problem. Not still, I wasn't really the happiest with my outcome, you know, because at one point I just forced this to, you know, to pretend that we only have you know, single digits, you know, so you got 1 to 9 or 0 to 9. But that probably could be, you know, to this so I would have to search. Basically I just didn't have time to implement that. I would just check entire number here, and then this would actually loop that many times. But then like the second part, which I think I did with, this is like what I had to do recursion for. So recursion again is calling function that within a function itself. So the recursion part would require, so let's say we have this, you know, and 3 here or 2 here, yeah, to make it easier basically, like, so then I could have those nested strings, you know. So then I could have that also. So AEF, yeah, and this could also have like 3, yeah. So then what I would have to do is like I first print A, then I go into this EEF 3 times, and then I go out and I have BCV and EEF 3 times, like this would be like a long string, and I print it twice, and then I add E at the end. So yeah, I think like, yeah, I think my solution, because that was actually like, this is where you have to call this function again and pass like wherever is actually inside of it. So yeah, I think like, so that was the last part. I think I did it okay, you know. I wasn't really like super, like it wasn't my like strongest solution. I think it was like my middle one out of all the 3 technical interviews. That was my middle best, you know. So second best was this on strings, because I did quite a lot on strings before. I was playing with strings a while ago. With the trees I didn't, so you know. So I think like the interviews yesterday, I think that was the last parts, and if based on that I might have an offer or not. Like if I was going to judge myself, I would probably say no. I would probably say like I would say 40% 40% yes, 60% no. So I would probably not give myself that job. That was sort of my choice, because I didn't really spend time actually redoing any of those problems. And binary trees, like that was the worst one that I did. If I actually did like a couple of hours of binary trees, I think I would be fine. So I would do much better, but I didn't. I didn't do well, actually, I must say. So yeah, maybe even 40% yes and 60% no is probably quite generous for myself. Yeah, I didn't do that with that good. So unfortunately, I forgot to record. That would be a good. That would be a good clip. So yeah, okay. So let's just answer the question from OHAW. Oh, yeah, I know we spoke before, so I'm sorry. Go to channel. Yeah, from you. Oh, Vana. Oh, Vana. Yeah, let's answer that question. Hey, how are you doing, and how much the project complete? Okay, the project, yeah, you know, Planero is sort of completed. I have a couple of bugs to fix. So in terms of like an app, this app is sort of where I wanted it to be. It's a niche app, so I don't really expect it to be growing super fast. It's not going to be a unicorn. It's a utility app that people will be using in, you know, in some services, delivery services. So now that this app is out, Planero, I'm actually going to run a marketing campaign, and it's either this week or in 3 weeks time. That depends. I can't remember when the girl that is helping me with marketing when she's off, because she's off for a week somewhere like in Malta, or like she's yeah, so she's on holidays, and she's going to help me with those promotions. And I need to do a couple of like really annoying things with like Facebook and stuff I absolutely hate. Yeah, so that's how the project. So this Planero, I have a couple of tweaks here within the app and on this page that I want to do, and then out from that, the next step will be to put some real money into it. So I'm planning to put like maybe $400 or something into it to see if I get any signups. And obviously, like long term, this app might mean that to find a real customer, even for this plan, I might need to spend $100 for each, because this customer, if he stays, his lifetime value is a huge, it's in thousands. That's his lifetime value. Or if I get like bigger companies, that's even more. So this all only means that I have to spend more time on promotion and on marketing and on actually creating videos with people and stuff. So I'm still at the stage where I have to convince people that it's a application worth actually buying. Yeah, so that's kind of where I am here. Pattern market, it's being built. We have a meeting today. I have a meeting with a guy who is helping me on to form a pitch. So I'm actually going to look for investors for this project. I will tell you how it goes, obviously. So I have to finish like my pitch presentation, or just at least put some slides into it, and I will do it today, probably on the live stream later. And I will be presenting it probably on in April. So I would try to actually look for some investment incubators or people with, I don't know how to find them really. The guy that I'm speaking to, he knows better. Yeah, that's from one of the projects. That's a guy from this project that he might not be in tomorrow. The last part is Pixels and Logic. This agency is the website is ready, I think. So occasionally I'm adding something to the blog, and I will be promoting it basically. So it's a LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, where I will be actually trying to get those clients. And I'm tempted, I might actually need to put some money into this as well, like a couple of $100s to maybe get some business here. So that's where my businesses are. It's not like I'm not really like I don't believe that there is such a thing as a quick success in those things. So you have to really work to them. You need to get to them. It's nothing that is immediate. But even like looking at and another project is obviously my YouTube. And looking at my YouTube, there is a progress. There is always a progress. And today there's 8 of you now on the live stream, and a month ago I would have 4 people on the live stream. So it's a progress, And if in 2 months' time I have twice as many, that's a huge progress, and this is a success. So there is no such thing as you get like, I don't believe in getting viral stuff. You suddenly get like lots of stuff. But yeah, it's all growing all the time. It's more than previous months. Okay, I don't know how to even display it. So it's everything is more than it was before, 20% more in hours. Less viewers, but like last month I was actually doing advertising on 2 videos for Planero. So I did some heavy advertising. It didn't work really. It got me people to the website, but no one actually signing up from this. So that's why my views are down, but everything is up. Everything is up, so it's just work. You work, you get results. There is no such thing as or I mean, I don't believe in that. If I get it, I'll be happy. But if I don't really expect that, any of my businesses will suddenly just spring up and it will just be a huge success and billions and millions of money will just come. I think like if you know, whenever any of them will work, like Planero, I think is the one that is long term the most interesting for me, and pattern market. So you know, but they need time. They need time. They need same with my agency. This just needs work, and I'm just putting it every day. I'm just adding it to the every day. So yeah, that's where I am with projects. Yeah, hello, coding track. Good to see you. Make sure to subscribe, or then that's the number that will increase if you press subscribe button. And there is a button somewhere below. Yeah, any other questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna start grinding basically my app. You know, I need to fix a couple of things. I need to do some vibe coding. This app is, I'm like, the more I look at my app is like the less happy I am with the quality of code I'm actually shipping. So I might actually start doing some refactors. And this is something I always find that, you know, I never find it as a good use of time, to be honest. I know there are some people that are much stronger in terms of like, much more convinced that refactoring project is that useful. I don't know. I just like, I think like, maybe it's fine actually. Maybe it's not a failure or anything. But yeah, I'm very slow to actually start refactoring my stuff. Yeah, maybe that's a bad trade. And what else? Yeah, that's it. So no questions on the chat. I will actually encourage you again, guys, to join my Discord channel, and especially to do this form here. It's a Google form where if you're interested in working together on a project, we will try to get something done together. I was just checking earlier during this live stream how many people filled it up. So we had 6 signups for this project, which is not that many, and most of the people are not really. They say that they can do a couple of hours a week, which is, I don't know. It will be hard actually to build something bigger, but we'll see. You know, I'll try to make some team or two out of those people, and you know, obviously the best of them will I might actually use for my paid projects. That's how I wish I can do it. We'll try to do it. We will try to do it. I have to speak to a guy who I'm working on. So there's one guy that I already sort of brought in from Discord to work with me on one project, and he's starting, I think, today. So I'll have to spend some time with him to try to get him more familiar to the project. If you are here, Rookie, then hi. Good to see you. I will try to actually get you running. Yeah, and then if no questions, nothing there, then let's just go. Oh, so most of the people would like to work for Google. I'm not a Google recruiter. I just had the Google interviews recently. I think they went okay, but didn't really go so greatly perfect. You know, they weren't perfect. They were far from perfect. If I spent maybe a week preparing for them, I would probably do good. But I didn't. I'm kind of lazy bum, and I prefer actually to work on this stuff. So I have much more hope that long term this will be much more rewarding than working for Google. That's at least what I think. I will see. You know, if I get offer, I might take it. I don't know. It depends what sort of offer they can give me. But in my opinion, it's more likely that I will not get an offer from Google. Okay, let's just get back to Planero. So let's just run the project. Let's start the grind. So yeah, recently I'm looking at my components, and absolutely this is I don't know, the more I see it, the less I like it. You know, the less acceptable it is. You know, I never liked it actually since I built it, but like the more I look at it, it's just I find it less and less acceptable. I don't know, I might need to think how to rewrite it, refactor it. But the thing is, like, but for me also the question is like, if this Planero is actually worth investing much more time into. That's a big question for me, because I might actually, by spending here, and so far I'm spending money on it and time, and I'm not getting customers. So obviously, like the question will be how far I should push it before it's not really a good time use, because I could be working on other projects. Maybe, you know, someone is offering me the online casino to work on, and someone else was talking about some other systems that I could be building. So obviously this is also an opportunity cost. You actually invest more time into one thing and you can't invest in the other thing. So it's always something that you have to be careful. Although I don't want to actually sort of just throw away Planero. I think it will always be kicking somewhere on the side. But for me now, it's a question whether I should invest more time into improving the code quality there, whether I should invest more time in integrating into other systems, because that's, in one way, I hear that this is what customers might want. In the other hand, like, it's time consuming, and I could be using this time otherwise, differently. So yeah, it seems like 75% of my responders are actually saying that, yeah, they would like to work for Google. I feel like, I don't know, maybe for a bit I would like to work for Google. I don't know if I'm that, hard to say. Okay, so a part of me says, yeah, it would be great to work for Google or for one of those big ones, because I've never, like, the biggest companies I've been working, they weren't actually Google size. The biggest companies were maybe 40,000 people worldwide, and Google is, I don't know, how many people work for Google? How many people works for Google? 183,000. Yeah, so that's probably like 5 times bigger than what I've been, or like 4 times bigger than what I've been working for before. Is Google laying off 30,000 employees? Google layoff 30,000 employees. Google's president of America, global, blah, blah, blah. That's probably the old one, yeah? Oh, December. Yeah, maybe, wherever. They hire, they fire, wherever. This is a big company. It's not like, even if they fire some people, it's not forever, wherever. Doesn't matter. Around Google employees are male. Ooh, we're a sexist company. Just kidding. Most of them programmers are male. Yeah. Oh, but it's actually, like, it was bigger. The number of employees was bigger and it went slightly down, yes? So will it go down again? I don't know. Will it be increased by 1, which would be me? I don't know. Full-time employees, yeah. That's a big number, yeah. And they seem to pay quite well, I heard. So for a family father person like me, who is responsible for making money, it's a good thing. What was the Python? Yeah, okay. Python manage by. Where is my? Okay, we have to go to my backend. CD backend and Python manage by run server. Yep. And here we go to web. Ooh, what happened? Sorry. CD web pnpm dev. Yeah. Woohoo! Yay! Running. So now we're gonna go to my app, and I've actually restructured my app recently. I think yesterday or the day before, where I changed some layouts and the entry to the app. So it used to be by going here, you'd be sent to a login page. Now it's panel here. And then if you are not paying, you are prompted to pay, you bastard. Maybe later, it says here. So each time you log in, I don't know if I should do it. Maybe I should just remind them every... maybe that's a... Okay, let's just remember, just remind myself what was the name of this pop-up. Because this is... and I have to fix this button, which is like a toggle button. So what's the name of this pop-up? It's called dialog? No. What's the name of it in React? Let's see. Let's just go to... Okay. I can't really drag it. What's happening? Oh, let's go to components. And the name of this thing, and this is a nightmare when it comes to React. I always have to like dig around. upgrade prompt model. Okay, let's just open that file. Upgrade prompt model. Okay, so here can we have it to be shown not more often than every once a week. Upgrade from pop-up. Yeah. Here, this pop-up to upgrade plan. Can we have it to show? Okay, yeah, that's probably okay-ish. So otherwise it's just too often. Every time you refresh the page, it's like boom, you know. Sign up, pay. Otherwise, so what does it say? Okay, so we are saving into local storage, and then like when you press the button, probably is there any other code? Yeah, here, set item to string upgrade prompt last shown. So if the last one was whatever, this many seconds, which is 1 week, that's fine, you know. It's an ugly code again, but it's AI, and it's just working. It's just gonna work. Looks like a working code. So maybe later, and now when I refresh, it will just show it to me next week. Or maybe not next week, maybe half a week. Times 4, maybe every 4 days, if something. Yeah, okay, whatever. I think once a week will be okay. In a week time, you will be asked to pay. Do you have a Copilot subscriptions? Are you using 10 or 41? Okay, for me, I'm using $10 one. It's enough. Like I just have to be not too crazy on those Claude models, because I don't really see them that much better. I see them as okay, you know, slightly better than the other ones. So when I'm using Grok, Raptor often, and sometimes Claude when I just need to do something that is more competent, I think it's enough. I think it's way enough, you know. So that's the question, if I'm which subscription plan I have on Copilot. It's the cheap one, and I don't see the reason to pay twice, like 4 times as much. If there was a subscription to pay for 15 and have a 50% more, I would probably do that, because I can run out of, like, I would probably lose Claude a bit more, you know. It's adding less code, which is better usually for me. And it's not doing so many like stupid, like, you know, unnecessary stuff. But with the current one, that I'm happy. I want to start a project with vibe coding. How to start? Can you guide a little? Oh, I have an idea actually. I have to actually do that. Awana. I think like I will do a project where I'm doing from scratch with installing everything from start to finish, but it's a time-consuming video, you know. And yeah, or I mean, yeah, I can try that. I will try that for you, okay? But not this week. When can I do it? Maybe next week somewhere. Yeah, I can try to do it next week. It would be a good video, I think, you know. How to start vibe coding from, you know, from Windows. You start with Windows, and you install everything step by step, and then you install the Copilot, wherever. Like the ones I'm more familiar with is obviously Copilot, and then you start vibing, and then you spend like 15 minutes, and you have a, you know, you have a Google service yourself. Yes, you're the Google in 15 minutes of vibe coding. No. But, you know, to get you started, basically, from 0 to, or you can just Google it on YouTube, find on YouTube. There are certainly videos how to start vibe coding. But I will actually make one, because that's my plan. Okay, look into this BMAD method. Might use more token during the first time due to heavy planning, but the apps are you get are way better. What's better in those apps? Can you tell me? Is this the code? Like, is this not really? Is the file repetition or like the logic repetition not happening? BMAD method. BMAD method is an AI-driven development framework module with BMAD method ecosystem that helps you build software through the whole process from ideation, I don't know, and planning all the way through agenting implementation. It provides specialized AI agents, guided workflows, intelligent planning, blah, blah, blah. I think it's tutorials, learning oriented step by step. Okay. How to use the BMAD, and what does that give you? Like, it's a start a tutorial, how to use the docs, extend the customize. Why then don't explain what is it? What is it for? Tutorials, how to install, interaction. Okay, v6. Like, what's quick flow? Skip the ceremony. Quick flow takes. Okay, I want. If you want one workflow to clarify, plan, implement, review, present, quick dev. Okay, don't know. Bug fixes. When to use it? Bug refactoring, small, well understood features, prototyping, and spikes. When not to use it. It doesn't. They don't really explain what it does. Quick dev. Flow skips. What quick method produced product brief? PRD. I don't know. Architecture doc. Epic story break. So this is just like a planning before you start. Makes sense. I think like this is something I learned that doing more is better, but I don't. Okay, I would have to maybe give it more time. Brainstorming. Run brainstorming and you get a creative facilitator pulling ideas out of you, not generating them for you. Okay. Oh, that might be good. So it's going to ask you some questions. Yes, what would you like to do? That might be good. It gives you different agents like developer, designer, architecture, etc. That way you vibe coding better than just prompting your AI again and again. I might try it, but like I feel like my next project will be much less vibe coding and much more of me doing that, because I actually think that I will do better job in all of those parts, you know, and what I will do, what I will need my agents to do is just like run those commands. I will tell it to set it up with those technologies in this way, and then you know, and then like if I need a feature, I will have to closely look at it, how it's actually being implemented. I will have to like really closely look at my AI agent, how it's actually doing it. And I think that then my AI coding might be actually pretty good, because currently like so I don't know, I might actually try it. I will have to watch some videos on it maybe. Yeah. The end of AI context anxiety. I don't know. Okay, looks like a lot of stuff. 15 videos, 37k subscribers. He must be good. This guy must be a powerhouse of knowledge. And you know, and he released a library, so and it seems to be a popular library. Fully here. Okay, I'm not tempted actually for now to watch it. Maybe I will check it. I'm a reluctant recently in new tools, so I will actually planning framework for you plan before you start vibe coding, and it is it. Yeah, okay, makes sense. I feel like I haven't, like, before I've done my this Planero project, I didn't really do enough planning. I didn't give it enough instructions at the start. So I should probably do that before I actually go into plunge myself into vibe coding and stuff. But still, like I don't think like it will actually solve my problems, because in my case, the infrastructure, like the architecture, is not that bad. You know, I feel like the architecture that was created, except the repetition and maybe some utility functions to be would need to be brought out into separate components, so separate separate files. Other than that, it's also like there's a lot about code quality that I'm getting. That is my gripe. And obviously I can instruct my AI agent to do it my way, but then I'm getting closer and closer to me actually writing it. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. Like I think I will, with next project, I will go really heavy back on me writing code, because this experience of vibe coding is for me not the best. And I don't like in the end, in the whole project, I don't like I actually saved that much time with AI, because the more time we are not really spending on writing code, especially if you know how to write the code, it's much more about making decisions what to write. That's much bigger than just like I just need that function, I just need to display here something, I just need this. It's much we spend much more time just like pondering what to do, which is important time. We need to spend time thinking. One question more: you created a project in your local PC, then how you put the project online? That's something that is called deployment, and the more you learn about deployment, the more ways of putting it online you will know. So for example, I know about 3 ways of putting things online. One is obviously you use Vercel, and there is or Vercel or render, and you just connect it to the GitHub. GitHub is a code repository, and this is actually something that you, unfortunately, even if you want to do vibe coding, you have to learn. So you need to learn about Git, and your experience with writing will be much worse if you don't know how to manage files. So if you have to learn the basics, at least how to use it with for example your favorite code editor. So in my case it's a VS Code. So you will benefit if you learn a bit, what's how to pull code, how to push code, how to get the repository, how to how to commit stuff. Probably that would be a good beginning. How to create a repository somewhere, how to connect it to your computer. Yes, that kind of stuff. It's not hard, but it's actually, you would have to find video on YouTube that will tell you that in 15 minutes. So then once you have it on your Git, so that's the next step. So let's say I have a code on my computer. So the next step is to get it on Git. And Git is this tool, which is like let's call it a website with people's code. Start following you. Okay, someone started following me. And this is where you put your code. And then from here, you can connect it to your host to, let's say Vercel. So this is a company that is providing server space. And this gives you address online. And that's how your website is online. I hope this is the simplest way I can actually explain it. There are ways to actually do it, maybe bypass the first part, so you don't have to have it on your computer. You could just create, like, you could vibe code things now here on GitHub, I think. I don't want to do it because I do like to have my code on my computer. But yeah, I think there is this agent. I don't know what they do, to be honest. I don't really care too much. The thing is, like, my solution is not really, like, for me, the problem is not, like, I know what my tools, I know which tools I like. The biggest problem now is, what to build. Okay, so I will actually stay another 5 minutes. My family is back. My wife is back. I want to have a coffee with her. And I will be back in like a half an hour or something on the next. Sorry for blowing my nose all the time. I think this might actually finish on I mean, I have problem with my tooth, and it causes some other stuff. So I think this will be solved soon, this problem. But yeah, like as I said, I will have another 5 minutes. Then next session will be just a grind, you know. So I will be grinding my way through my project. If there are no questions, maybe I can recommend you to watch my latest podcast, which was actually on Monday, and it was about preview mode. Okay, it was about actually my vibe coding story, you know. So this is after me building one SaaS app, releasing it and getting it out there. This is what are my conclusions, you know. What do I think about the code I got? Is it like is there a future in vibe coding for experienced people, for non-experienced people? How do I see it? Yeah, and like obviously my conclusion is yes, it's very useful tool, but you know, there's lots of buts that you have to be careful about. So for example, one thing that I see now with vibe coding. Thanks guys for coming. Make sure to subscribe. There is a button somewhere below, and this number will go up by 1 or 10, depending how many of you will subscribe. But yeah, I got thinking about subscribers. You know, I'm a greedy one. Don't know. I think I lost my thought. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. Okay, did I have anything more about Google stuff? Oh yeah, like yesterday I asked the guy on the interview, on the second interview. Okay, so I might be a dummy, you know, but I was trying to remember when was the last time in the kitchen at work we ever talked about algorithms or like some data structures or something, and I couldn't think of it. You know, I couldn't think of this one story where someone would be saying, "Oh, my data is this bad. You know, I have to improve this algorithm or something." No one ever talks about it. So it means that they're actually not doing it, in my opinion. So then I asked him, okay, like, do you actually use this stuff in your day-to-day work? And he's like, no, not really. But there, you know, there was a you know, happened wherever, and I believe that because they deal with much bigger data volumes, they might actually need to get some of the algorithms. So their job might be actually requiring a bit more of what they are asking on the interviews. So I can believe that there is some utility to that. Obviously, I don't really see the utility in that to focus out of 4 stages of interviews. You do 3 on that basically, and then you use that 10% at work, because then it seems like you are not using your time. You know, you're not hiring the right people. You're hiring people who can solve a riddle, you know, who can solve the algorithm, but they don't focus on other stuff. And like he was actually saying himself that the most important thing he thinks now is ability to talk to your colleagues. And this is what I would agree always, you know. The most important thing as an engineer is not writing code or solving a solution, like solving an algorithm. It's actually ability to ask for help. It's ability to help others. It's ability to tell that you are actually don't understanding the issue, you know, or you actually you are struggling with this, because then you are actually getting to some like community stuff, and community in development, in programming and in engineering is much more useful than just one person trying, like one genius person is much less valuable than bunch of people with, you know, with different interests. Those people will get you much further than just like you know, like a one brilliant person. I don't really even like believe too much in like, oh, there's a brilliant programmer who they pay him like $1 billion, gazillion, and he's the next and stuff. I don't really believe that that's a truth, you know. There's no such thing as 10x engineer or 10x developer. There are some smarter developers. They have some better approaches, maybe a bit more curious about some topics, or much more into like maybe more meticulous. In some situations this is actually very useful, especially in programming, but it's more about, you have to solve a problem, and there are always multiple ways of solving a problem. One way might be writing a piece of code that will actually get it solved. Other way might be actually speaking to your manager, or like speaking to a bunch of managers and deciding that we don't actually need this service even. Maybe we should focus on something else. That's a solution also, not always taken. Mostly people just take what bosses are telling them and just do it. So I think like for a company, it might be a value, when you actually can talk and question things. And in some companies, it's actually hard to they say that they want that, but they don't. And in some companies, it might be actually a value. So I don't know, like it's a, okay, 3 more minutes and I'm out. Let's see the Discord, how it's going. And let's encourage everyone to join the Discord channel, because there is 40 people already. Yeah, I have 40 people on Discord. I don't know if it's a lot or not. I don't know if it's a big number, or should I have 10,000? I don't know. For now, that there can be a good conversation. I think people are helpful in a way. Some people are asking questions. That's a useful thing. There's also my survey asking, would you like to work together in DFS? Can you give me what sort of stuff you're interested in and how much time you can devote? Do you have your own ideas? Some things like that, So that's actually something that I will be encouraging people to do, as well as I'm encouraging people to subscribe to my channel. Because obviously watching is fun, but subscribing, that's another pair of another thing. And obviously you can like this video, you can comment it, you can send it to other people and say how good his interview question, like if you want a Google job, you have to listen to this guy, because he knows how not to get it, probably. 60% of my, I think it's a 40% of my, I have chance of 40% somehow. And there was this survey, so 11 votes. Most of the people would like to work for Google, and that's sort of expected. I think those jobs can be good at some stage, and they're obviously well paid, and they're very well thought of. So if you're a developer and you have a Google job in your CV, that's actually good. That's good for you. I don't see it not as necessary in my career anymore, and I had the jobs which were probably even better paid than Google. So I don't really I'm not really worried too much that if I don't get it, it's not like some sort of wasted opportunity. It might be good, it might not. I don't know. It also depends what team you would join, what project, who is your manager, who are your colleagues, that kind of thing, and what sort of person you are, how good you are at adapting to those jobs. So yeah, no questions, no stuff. So I will be saying goodbye for now. I will be back in maybe half an hour. I will just have a coffee with my wife, have a talk. We're gonna talk, obviously, and have a coffee. Nothing more. Not today. There's a daughter out there. We can't do more. So thanks for watching, and see you later. Thank you.